Okay, hi, hello. Sorry, I don't know what YouTube's got me doing. Schedule stream like organize a schedule. Instead of just clicking live and doing it, I'm having to look at something else to be able to just see the chat today, which is extremely annoying. Now it's playing back things. Oh, what is it doing today? I've got no idea. Okay. Right. Okay. Oh, that should be sorted about now. So I'm just trying to look at the chat. But everyone's here now, I'm hoping. So if I need to change things around, then I should see it in here. So I hope everyone's having a good new year. I didn't really get up to a lot. Wasn't an out one just with the wife and the niece yesterday. Went to a night market, cleaned up on the darts game. Came back, watched some fireworks. That was it. So, deadline is in 50 minutes. I'm hoping everything is visible now, because some of the things I'm seeing are not. All right. Boom. There we go. This should be done. So, for me, funnily enough, one of the best game weeks that I've had so far this season has come in game week 20, despite not playing Vardy or Lundstrom. Lundstrom would have played anyway, but despite not having Vardy in the side. Happy New Year, Undershot. Fugu. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Yeah, also, comment what you guys got up to for New Year's, if you did much. Like I said, I didn't do anything, which is fine. It's just a day. I've got today off, and then I'm working, actually, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which pretty much sucks. So, going back into game week 20, and it actually turned into be a really, really good one. You can see Kiko Firmino. I'm telling you, I'm starting the Kiko Firmino fan club right now. 6 points. So I did mention this before. Now, I'm not saying people get ideas from other people all the time, or maybe people haven't seen some of the stuff I've said, but I've been talking about the likes of like Firmino and Traore. I don't know, just some of the tweets I've seen, like, I don't know, just immediately after I've done it, a lot of people having similar thoughts. But maybe we're just all having the same idea, which is a good thing. But yeah, since Pearson's come in, he's got 6-2-6 so far. So the reason why I put Watford in there is a really, really cheap option. You know, if you miss the boat on the likes of Kelly. What's Kelly at now? 4.4. And the likes of Rico, I think, is about 4.4. Yeah. So you can go to a 4.2 Kiko Firmino, or I think Cathcart and Casable are like a 0.1 more expensive. But just as basically bench fodder with the occasional view. I think the occasional appearance. I think they're pretty decent options. Kelly, he was actually the reason Crystal Palace didn't keep a clean sheet, so thank you for that, because his awful back pass, and of all the people to score for Southampton, the one person that keeps punishing me since I didn't switch out Abraham for him has been Danny Ings, and Kelly absolutely put it on a plate for him. And then TAA, 8 points. Yeah, I just had to bring him in. Cantwell or Grealish. Cantwell or Grealish. I would go Cantwell over Grealish. Grealish is actually sitting on my bench right now. When I got into this game week, away to Burnley is not easy. Cantwell at home to Crystal Palace is not easy to break down that defence, but I just feel more comfortable. And Villa just without Grealish, they're nothing. Like, I saw a cartoon, it could have been FPL Doodles that did it, where Grealish is like hanging onto a mountain, which is supposed to be the Premier League, and he's just got the Aston Villa team on his back. So just to finish off, Dele Alli, really disappointing again here against Norwich. He did have a goal ruled out for offside. Another nice finish from him, though. A lot of people getting rid of him. I'm going to still stick with him for a while. Southampton, Liverpool's not easy, but Southampton, Watford and Norwich in the next 4 still feels like a pretty decent run. Mane pulling me through 11 points there, beating Salah on points, which was good for me. Grealish, nothing. De Bruyne captaincy brought it home. I needed this. I think it was Chris I was talking to about this, and he was like, yeah, just go Kevin De Bruyne. And I did. And it absolutely saved me. I was not looking good after the first day, and then it was the Sunday boys that saved me because Kevin De Bruyne, Mane, and Abraham all get in. Jimenez and Troy were just making an appearance. They started on the bench, but 2 points is better than 0, I guess. Kevin De Bruyne at home, the best captaincy pick. So we'll move on to this week now. So yeah, put our questions and our ideas in the chat. I already made my transfer because I've got future ideas as well, and it was Abraham out, Rashford in, and I've done that because I want Rashford for the next 2 games. I did want a Manchester United option, so Dylan, that will come back to your question in a minute about the best United option. I had the direct money just to go straight from, so no hits, just one free transfer, Rashford in for Tammy Abraham. I wanted Rashford to face that Arsenal defence on the counter-attack, and I want Rashford at home against Norwich. And then my future moves, and that was the other thing I was talking about earlier about people having the same idea. I was straight away, before the game, I was like, I'm going to bring Moy in. And then he got, I think it was 11 points. So Grealish will go out for Moy next game week, and then Rashford will go probably to Firmino, and that'll leave me with a lot of money in the bank. I think it's something like 1.4 million. Or I can do Grealish to Martial and Jimenez to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but I don't feel comfortable having, I think, double United because they do have a tendency to just like go on a pretty barren, dark run. And I love Jimenez. I've had him in for so long. He's been such a great player in my FPL side, just consistent pretty much almost every game week. So I don't feel Martial over Jimenez is the move for me. So I think I'm going to stick with Moy for Grealish, and then Rashford goes to Firmino. And then I'll just use those point whatever million, just to tweet here and there about my team. And that gives me the triple Liverpool. It gives me Firmino and Mane to cover Mo Salah. And Firmino's a huge differential. I think he's something like 8.6% ownership. So I think that's pretty much worth it. So Kevin De Bruyne as a captaincy pick is a good option. I do think he'll play. That's just my opinion, of course. No one can tell you or promise you exactly who or what is going to... hey, Chris, how you doing? No one is going to be able to tell you directly. We all think Vardy's going to play because Rodgers came out and said he's had the time off, he's had a break, he wasn't going to play in the last game, so I think he's going to come back, and I think he's a great captaincy shout. Newcastle not looking very good at the back recently, so Kevin De Bruyne is still a good option. It's another open game week. I feel that you can go with a Liverpool player. So we said earlier, Ronald said about TAA. I think TAA is a good option because Sheffield United aren't exactly dangerous in attack. So you'll probably get clean sheet plus maybe a couple of bonus. Mane, Salah, maybe won't get rotated. I don't think they'll get rotated, but I can't promise that. So it's an open game week. I think Rashford is an option of mine as well. But I'm just going to be sticking with Vardy captaincy and De Bruyne vice. I think they're the best options for me. Kelly versus Norwich or Rico versus West Ham. That is exactly the situation that I have right now. And you can see I've gone Kelly ahead of Rico. It is the last decision that I actually have to make with my side. And I think I'm going to stick with Kelly. Bournemouth, they've just looked really bad. Like whipping boy-esque almost. So I'm not really feeling Rico. Kelly, away from home especially, Crystal Palace are like the drawing experts, so I'm personally sticking with Kelly over Rico. But you can see, I've got the exact same situation as you. Hey Andy, how you doing, buddy? Are you going to take in Callum Winslow? No, I brought him in for that beautiful fixture run when I think, he had Norwich, he had Watford, he had a beautiful run, and I got him in, no hits, it was all looking good, got him in, and he trolled us. For me, it's a good punt, he's a good player, but Bournemouth are looking so poor right now, and there are so many good options out there that it feels like it's a punt that's not worth it. Crip, hi, good luck when you stream, good to see. Hey, thanks, buddy. Hey, Rooster Booster. It's been a couple of weeks, hope you're doing well. Happy New Year, everyone, as well. Hope you're all having a nice A nice day. Oh, thanks for the sub as well. Ronald, David Silva is available for selection. Yep. I think David Silva is a fantastic player. He's someone that I wanted to bring in before he got injured. I just find the issue is now he's been out for a couple of weeks. Is he going to jump straight back in for 90 minutes? When Bernardo Silva's done all right when he's dropped in that hole. And Mahrez is looking pretty exciting. So I think it's difficult with Pep. We all know Pep roulette. I just wouldn't be going for David Silva when he's just back from injury. Salah or Vardy captain, guessing Vardy from your team. Yeah, Kifian, you've nailed it there. I've got Mane, so you could have the, you know, you can see I'm going Jamie Vardy. I just feel that maybe there's going to be some rotation, and of course we know there's going to be rotation, but it just feels like Jamie Vardy's just had a game off. And everyone keeps saying it, and I don't want to really repeat it, but the idea that we can all picture Jamie Vardy sticking his thumb in his mouth and sticking the ball up his shirt and celebrating having a new baby. For that, I think that's just nonsense. That's got nothing to do with anything. I just feel as though he's not going to get dropped, and he's still a fantastic option against a pretty terrible Newcastle side in the last couple of game weeks. I mean, you can picture whatever you want. You can picture Dele Alli doing 3 backflips because he scored a hat-trick. It doesn't matter what you picture. You just got to go with what makes sense. And it feels like Jamie Vardy had a rest. Roger said he's back. And is it 10 days they've got after this? I mean, they've got the FA Cup, I know. But, they've got a 10-day break. So it feels like Jamie Vardy's going to be back for this one. As a rule... Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, I missed that for... Your captain, Trent. Yeah, go for Trent. Have a punt. I mean, he's a fantastic player, and you can see a clean sheet coming at Liverpool. So it's not a crazy option. It's so boring to have De Bruyne. It's like a cheat code, right? You should take out Firmino because he plays against Wolves. Now, Andy, you've come on to a very, very good point there. Now, that's doubling down on my idea that I think Wolves are going to beat Watford. So I understand. Again, I had the thought of should I bring Rico in for Firmino because I'm hoping Traore and Jimenez score, and that means Firmino is just going to walk away with 1 or 2 points. But my issue for what I'm doing is I'm kind of covering my arse basically by thinking if I play Kiko Firmino and Wolves just have a nightmare, they don't score, they can't find a way through. Traore and Jimenez blank, but I'll get 6 points or 5 if he gets booked. From Firmino. So the reason why I'm sticking Firmino over Rico is kind of like a safety net. So I know I'm probably not going to get like 100 points this game week because I've got players playing against each other. Attack first defense. But my idea is if Kiko comes away with 2 points and Traore and Jimenez get a nice set of points, that's fine. But you know, if like I say, if Wolves have a nightmare, that's why I'm going to stick with Firmino in my side. Caption options are tough. I don't think tough. I just prefer to say that it's more open. That would be my thing. Jimenez is always an option. He just delivers so much, and I can't believe that his value just keeps going up and down the way it is. What is he? He's 7.6, 7.5 now. He started the season 7.5, 7.5 all the way down to 7.1, and then the heights of 7.7, and even from 7.7, he keeps just going down. I always feel really sorry for him. He's been such a really great player this year. Only 8 plus a backup keeper of your 14 started the game. Ooh. Traore, Maddison, Jimenez so you got a point. 60. It feels like a lot of us were struggling with rotation, but we've all pulled out a pretty decent game week score, which is straight. I said 68 points is one of my best game weeks of the season, despite Vardy not even kicking a ball. Still indecisive between Mane, Vardy, or KDB. Well, you know my opinion. I mean, I've got Mane, and he's not even my vice captain right now. I literally have those 3 players the same as you, and I'm going Vardy. I keep saying shaky Newcastle defence at the moment. He's had a rest. You don't know what Pep's going to do. You don't know if Klopp's going to give Mane a rest. I mean, they've got Everton in the FA Cup, so... I mean, but the league's not wrapped up yet, so is he going to want to go out and get another 3 points? I don't know. And Klopp doesn't seem to rotate as much as other managers, but was it 90 minutes that he played? Yeah, he's done 90 minutes last 3 game weeks. Is Mane going to have a break? Is he going to start the new lad? Is he even in the game yet, the new Liverpool signing? I don't think he is yet. No, but the new the lad from Salzburg, what's it called? Timinoto or something like that. I can't remember what his name is, but maybe he gets a start. Maybe Shaqiri comes back in. We just don't know. But I'm going to stick with Vardy. He just, if not just because I think he's really dangerous, but because I feel as though Vardy is the least likely to not be left out of a side today. I think he'll play the most. Bournemouth's fixtures now get good though. I do understand, but I'm just going for more form over fixtures. And I just feel Bournemouth are in a real slump right now. So, thoughts about Harry Wilson. Again, Andy, I'm sort of sticking away from Bournemouth. I'm just not feeling... Too many times I've got Bournemouth players in and they've just done naff all. I mean, I started the season with Fraser and Callum Wilson, and it just turned out to be a nightmare. Who'll be my third Liverpool player? Yeah, notorious. I said this earlier. It's probably going to be Firmino. For me to bring to bring Salah in, it's going to be so detrimental to my side that I'll just rather have TAA, Mane, and Firmino, and hope that Firmino, Mane at least cover or outscore Salah. And then, that extra 3 million goes a long way. I'd have to lose Ali. I'd have to lose maybe even Kevin De Bruyne. And I just feel like losing... and I'd have to probably go 2 up front. So Rashford and Ali would have to be out for Salah. And I feel like that's one step too far for me, for most. I do want him. I'll have a tinker around. I'm not looking to do a wild card until after at least the transfer deadline's closed. But I feel as though Firmino should be fine. I mean, I love him as a player. I've had him before, but I'll keep him in next time. Yeah, Kelly versus Rico as a decision. A lot of... Yeah, and I just... Away from home, Palace defensively, they're pretty good. And I can see both of those teams conceding, so I think I'm just going to go with Kelly. He bought Lundstram in Game Week 2. Finally sold him this week for Rico. 50k rank is pretty amazing, actually. You're not going to pick Lundstram for at least 5 weeks. For me, though, it's one of those things where Lundstram just isn't a defender, so he's a season keeper. I think I got it for 4.1 million, so... You're going to play the next 5. You're not going to play him at home to West Ham? I would. Maybe not Arsenal City. I understand that. It's not easy. But then again, from 25 to 30, he's going to be playing for me. But again, it's like, so you're going to start the season. I just want to sold him. I sold Sionchu for a small profit, but I just feel like I'm going to be basically playing Lundstram TAA and then choose one of Rico, Firmino and Kelly, and I think I'm fine with that. But Lundstram for me is just... He's a box-to-box midfielder. I think he's just an obvious pick as your cheap option if you've had him all this time. I've just spoken to say what the plan is for Game Week 24 yet. Yeah, Chris, I mentioned it earlier. I'm just going to go for Firmino. And yeah, you said it's a gamble not having Lundstram. I just wouldn't have got rid of him. For saying that the people who captained Vardy last week wasn't punished and had KDB or Mane. True. But so you don't think we should have vice captains? But again, I disagree. Like, we're talking now about setting up our captaincies and our vice captaincies. So if you just have that luck where your captain doesn't play, but you've chose the right vice captain. So we're talking about it now. This Christmas period is so rotation heavy that we're not just going, okay, captain, let's think about it, Vardy. Vice captain, yes, sack it, just give it to anyone. Like, we're actually thinking, okay, people want to go for Mane or Kevin De Bruyne, but he might get rotated, so they go, okay, but back up, I believe Trent or Vardy are going to be the really great options as my second in command. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't play, TAA is your vice, he gets a goal and he gets a clean sheet and he absolutely hauls again. I think that's good planning. I think vice captains are fine. Because it's not lucky. Your captain didn't play, you're a man down, basically. Vardy, Maddison and Tillmans will destroy Newcastle. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've just never been pulled by Maddison. I don't know why. Leicester have another good run of fixtures coming up, but I don't know. I'm just not worried about Maddison at all. He doesn't give me the fear factor when I'm watching Leicester. Newcastle have a good home record. They do. That is true, but I feel like Leicester is still going to be too strong for them. We both had KDB captain for the start. Glad you didn't go ahead with Mane. Yeah, Mane would have been fine. I would have been, I think, 7 points worse off. But yeah, it turned out great, man. We stuck with KDB. You need Calvert-Lewin after City game. Yep. That was the option that I said earlier. So what I literally could do, unless there's been another price rise, would be Grealish to Martial. Wherever he is, down here. And then I can go Jimenez to Dominic Calvert-Lewin straight away in a two-man swap. And then then every week I'm going to have a selection headache between Traore and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I still want to see a little bit more form from Calvert-Lewin than what I'm seeing right now. I don't think he's as good as people are painting out. And Everton have burnt us all before. Yeah, I can see the comment at the bottom as well. You need Calvert-Lewin or you will lose the game. I'm going to lose the game anyway. I just need to get higher up. I've gone from just inside the top 2 million to about 1.6. So it was a nice rise, but yeah, I need to really kick on here. Callum Wilson and King's form is hurting Bournemouth defensively. They're conceding not many. But they're still just losing all the time. Shouldn't you replace Pope because of fixtures? Yes. That's another reason why I want to do Moy, Grealish, Rashford to Firmino with that 1.4 extra. Because then I'll just go Pope to Matt Ryan or Fabianski, something like that. So yeah, Pope is... I've been fine with Pope. Like, again, a lot of people keep saying, oh, like goalkeepers, he should be doing this, should be doing that. If you just have a look at the list, Pope's got 73 and the top keeper's got 79. So I'm 6 points behind the best scoring goalkeeper right now. And I think I'm okay with that. Like, it's not an urgency kind of thing. Brendan Rodgers has a good news. Oh, so Ronald, you'll not be wanting Jamie Vardy to do well today. Which is understandable. But you guys have got issues as well, I think. Have you got injuries? Let me just have a look on here, because they've dropped off a little bit recently. Yeah, look. Red. Shaw, a massive doubt as well. It's not looking good. But the last two games, 4-1 and then 2-1. And Leicester pretty much played a B side against West Ham to get Pellegrini sacked, right? So a fully fit Leicester side against an out of form injured Newcastle side, it just speaks volumes for Vardy. You think Abraham? I just took Abraham out, Din, for Rashford. I think Abraham's still a really good option, especially if you got him for cheaper. I just felt Abraham to Rashford was a good move, and then in the future I'll probably go with Firmino. So yeah, if you've got him as a second or third striker, still stick with. If I didn't have a plan, I would be okay holding Abraham, especially against Brighton. Ozil could be a dark horse. I completely agree. But fixtures, I actually looked at Ozil when I looked at the players to pick and avoid for this game week. Ozil was going to be my differential, but Arsenal have some pretty tough fixtures coming up, so I avoided that. West Ham, you would play Lundstram. Yeah, so again, I'm not hugely fond of playing Lundstram in every single game, but the potential's just there for him to get something. Is it worth keeping Maddison because of fixtures or get rid of him because of form? El Pipe, that's a really good question. To be honest, if you don't have Martial and you could go Maddison to Martial, I probably would. But it's not that Maddison's form is terrible. I mean, it's not great. Like I said earlier, I'm not a fan of Martial. I'm not, trying to pick on him or anything like that. When I look at the points and is he still on free kicks? He's still right up there near the top. But you're right, it's his form, 2-2-1-1. You got to say, though, you've got City and Liverpool out of those 4 games. And one is 75 minutes, one is 26 minutes. But the fixtures do look nice. Newcastle, Southampton, Burnley, West Ham, even Chelsea at home. So the next 5, if I had him, 7.7, he's not bad. But if I could, and I didn't have Martial, and I didn't have any United player, I probably would lean towards Maddison to Martial. Just because, he plays forward still, doesn't he? But you don't know. United go out and sign a striker. Martial like drops to the wing or drops to the bench, and then we're all going back to Maddison. Bench result: Richarlison versus City away or more pay. Ooh, that's tough. City still concede. I do fancy Richarlison being a thorn in the side. Oh, more pay against you. I think I'd still go with Richarlison over more pay. Which is funny because Morpay is in my differential for this week. Andy's thinking keep Maddison. I mean, if you do keep Maddison, I think it's a good option. How about swapping Traore with Naby Keita? Because that'll take up a Liverpool space, which I don't want. Bench Richarlison. Andy, we're just opposites today. Should you say goodbye to Lundstram now? I'm not. I'm keeping him. I'm talking about LMA Manager. Chris, love it. You can't even like buy him anymore. You can't even find like online copies to put on like an emulator. It's ridiculous. LMA was amazing. My Football Manager 20 career with Bolton Wanderers is going absolutely fantastic, by the way. It kept him up in the first season, promoted as champion as the second, playoff winners in the third. Joe Ledley, what a free signing. The ex-Palace and Cardiff lad. What a player. Saka. Sarthak says, you've got Paul Pogba, who hasn't travelled with the squad. Yeah, I saw that. You've got Greenwood, Sidibe, Lundstram on the bench. That's not ideal. You don't want to transfer Pogba out. Have you already made your transfer for this game week? Because we don't know what's going on with Pogba. And is he not 8.4 million just going to be sat on your bench? Hey, Happy New Year, Yaron. What do you reckon? Ryan and Dunk versus Chelsea or Guaita? Ooh. Ryan can get save points. Dunk can score off headers. But Guaita and Kelly, you don't fancy a mix and match? Or are you just going to double down? Pookie's in decent form, actually. But Palace are defensive experts. I'd probably lean towards the Palace boys. What do you think of Lundstram? I think he's a wonderful, wonderful man. I mean, I'm not going to play him for a couple of weeks, but after that, he's going to be back in the side. Another week before getting Calvert-Lewin. Exactly. I'm not in a rush to get Calvert-Lewin. I know he's 5.8 million. He's probably going to rise to like 6 million, but I want to see a little bit more. Like, it just feels like a random player scores a goal or two, and then every article and every discussion is just like, is he the next saviour? Is he in the next template? Is he essential? And it's just like, right, can we just calm down? He scored 2 goals against Newcastle, right? I mean, if he scores a brace against City and then another one in the game after that, I'll jump on it. But just, he's not a brand new sparkling player we've never heard of. Most of the time, we've all sat here and thought Dominic Calvert-Lewin is not good enough to be Everton's number 9. And now he scores 2 goals against an injury-stricken Newcastle side, and now he's in everyone's starting 11. I just think people need to calm down just a little bit. Yeah, I do like the idea about Keane and Dominic up front, but again, not in my FPL side. And he wants people to get rid of Lundstram. I'm going to keep him. Hey Joe, you doing Cantwell or more pay? Oh, so a lot of people are worried, I think, about their bench at the minute with the likes Cantwell or more pay. Probably leaning towards. Oh, that's a tough one, Joe. If I had that situation, probably more pay over Cantwell. What should you do with Abraham? He has blanked 4 games before the Arsenal game. Yeah, but he didn't blank in the last game. Do you know what I mean? And the thing I'd suggest, Andy, is like, what is it you want to do next? Like, don't think, okay, he's not in great form, let's just transfer him out, where do I go? Like, so you're talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin, if you think he's going to be a really good player, go Abraham to Calvert-Lewin next week. Then you've got a plan. A lot of the time we'll just look at a player and think, oh, he's terrible, let's change him. And then, okay, what's your future plan after that? Oh, I don't know. So, if you're thinking, okay, you believe in Calvert-Lewin, go Abraham to Calvert-Lewin, use that extra money to help someone else. Joe Ledley, fair play. Yeah, he was fantastic. He was my Had him all 3 seasons to get us in the Premier League as my captain. What a wonderful, wonderful football manager gem. And in that first season in the Championship, actually, I had Wayne Rooney, who was terrible for me and didn't really play in the end. Your team for today: Ryan, Söyüncü, Kelly, TAA, Mane, Ali, De Bruyne, Martial, Jimenez, Rashford, Vardy. Ramsdale on the bench. Yeah, I think that's a really good team. I think we're not far off, actually, in terms of our players. I mean, you've got Söyüncü, Martial. That's our only differences. I've got Traore and Kiko instead. We've got a very similar team, though. So tired of Abraham. Oh, I can feel that, man. Like, he didn't look like he was going to score against Arsenal, and then he popped one away. Rico Tomori. Rico. Tomori might be dropped. You don't think Abraham has a full Premier League season? I mean, he's young. Yeah, and the writing's on the wall in the sense of, like, it's no secret that Chelsea's probably going to go out and get a striker. I know Werner is in the works. So maybe a bit more rotation there. But again, I think I said earlier, if you've got Abraham, I'd probably hold him. Like, I know I didn't, but that's because I have this idea. So unless you have an idea of where you want to go. So I don't think a lot of people can jump from Tammy to Rashford like I did. So if you've still got Rashford and you're thinking, where do I go around here? You've probably already got Jimenez, so there's no one really else I'd jump to. Unless you go next week down to Dominic Calvert-Lewin and then, spread the wealth somewhere else. If you still had triple captain, would you use it in game week 24? Yeah, Chris, so for those of you that didn't know, I actually played my triple captainship in the game week 1. Because I always knew I wanted Liverpool against Norwich, and it just so happened to be game week 1. And I put it on Mo Salah, and he got me a goal and an assist. Funnily enough, I believe Sterling was my vice captain who absolutely destroyed West Ham, but nevertheless, that's just the way it is. So if I could go back now and take that away, no, I probably wouldn't, because even though it's 2 games, there's no saying that the likes of Salah or Mane are going to play those 2 games. So I actually don't mind. I mean, of course, Salah could play both of those games in game week 24, but Champions League knockouts around the corner, and it just feels like they're not racing for the title. They've got a pretty comfortable lead. I would expect maybe Mane or Salah might get a rest in one of those games, or one plays one and one plays the other. And then instead of choosing one player in great form at home against the current worst side in the league, you're playing Mane or Salah triple captain against Wolves away, which is a pretty difficult fixture, and West Ham away under a new Moyes. I say new, but under David Moyes' side. So, you ask yourself, is Salah or Mane going to score more points in 2 difficult games or at home in one very easy game? So I wouldn't go back and change it. I think, I got a goal and an assist on a triple captain. So I quite like that. Yeah, Ben, we mentioned it earlier. Actually, I think it was like the first question that we had in the chat this week about Trent. He's a huge differential for captaincy. Sheffield United not a particularly attacking side, so if you really want to go out there, yeah, sure. Thoughts about Sidibe or Holgate in Everton? The thing is, Andy, remember as well, like there could be some signings. Sidibe did play right mid, and again, everyone after that game was just like, Sidibe, right mid, here we go, he's the next out of position, everyone gets Sidibe in, and then bam, he was back to right back. And they got beat by, they conceded against Newcastle. So we've had this situation earlier, right at the start of this season with Everton, and last season with Everton as well, where you see this green fixture list and you think, right, let's just get a couple of Everton lads in. And every time we do it, they let us down. So, I don't know. I'm sticking with my TAA plus 4 other cheap defenders. And I'm just going to use the money in midfield and attack. That's my opinion anyway. Pope, Trent, Rico, Chilwell, Madison, Traore, Mane, KDB. Hey, look, another Vardy, Rashford, Jimenez. And do you know what's really strange? What's really strange I find about this is when I saw people check the differential, like how differential is that front line of Rashford, Vardy, Jimenez, I think only like 1 to 2% of people have actually those front three. But it feels like everyone you talk to has it. Score prediction for Bolton today. Don't see us winning midfield 2 week. 1-1. Did you see Burton Albion complaining? Clough complaining. Oh, I wish. Why couldn't we play Bolton at the start of the season when they had no players and they were playing the youth team? It's not fair. Where? Oh, I'm so sorry you didn't get to destroy our youth players right at the start of the season. Boo hoo to you. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, how petty can you be? You got lucky game week 2 after Alisson's injury and Chelsea's drubbing at United. You gambled that defenders. Now, I've mentioned this before on Reddit. I think it was game week 3 or game week 4. I posted on the Fantasy Premier League Reddit page, which has a lot of people. Good advice. I would suggest people to use it. And my post was, is it a good option to go cheap at the back? Should we just go cheap at the back and spread the money? Everyone was like, no, Robertson, TA, they're going to get all the points. And, you don't know what you're talking about. It proper put me down. I was like, okay, I'll just stick with the tried and tested. If way back then, I'd have just gone Rico, Kelly, Lundstrom, and TAA and just stuck with that. Like, my rank could be so much higher right now. So there's another tip. Just go with whatever you guys feel. And even if everyone else tells you you're wrong and you're stupid, do it anyway. Because that would have changed my entire season. If I would have just gone with what I felt and what I'd actually looked at and thought, okay, let's go really cheap at the back and, have a big midfield and play 3 up front. If I'd have done that, I wouldn't be 1.6 million. I'd be a lot better off. Yeah, Rooney's at Derby, and Derby are doing really badly at the moment. No, I think he's already there, isn't he? I thought he's already... I've seen him do Derby like press conferences. Or they're asking him at his other team. That team is set for Kante. Yeah, but... Kante's on the bench, so it doesn't really matter. It's just a 5 million lad sat on his bench, right? And if Kante comes in, it's not the worst thing. I mean, Kante's looking more attacking this season. He's scored a couple of nice goals. Downside defense of bringing Mount. Not a lot of people are bringing in Mason Mount, Patrick. I'll tell you, that's bold. Rotations only 6-day rest. Yeah. See, that's the thing there. You said it right there, Chris, with the last word you said. I hope. That's the worry. Let me just quickly catch up with the rest of these, and then I'll talk about the players that I'm looking at this week. You've dropped Pogba and Maddison for Traore and Sterling. Ooh. I quite like that, Sean. Because Pogba's a waste of money, like he's not even playing. I said I don't fear Maddison. Traore, everyone's joining the Traore train right now. And Sterling, feels like a big differential now, Sterling. Stevie's wait and see, just like Cavalier. Everton is wait and see. We don't know what Ancelotti's going to do. He doesn't know his best side yet. We don't know what transfers he's going to bring in. There's no way that Everton said, oh, please, Ancelotti, come to Everton. By the way, you've got no transfer money. No way. Daniel, another one. Vardy, Rashford, Jimenez. This is strange. Are we the 1% of the game right now with this front three? Only owned by 1% of players. But heavily owned by those taken seriously. Yeah, that makes sense. But that's fine by me. Yeah, Clough is making excuses. Like, to complain because a team was almost destroyed and having to play their 16-year-old lads and just thinking so selfishly as, oh, we didn't get to play them, though. We didn't get to destroy these 16, 17-year-old boys. Is so petty. Like, think of the bigger picture, Clough. Jesus Christ. Maybe not as a player. Oh, he could have wrong, I think. Maybe he's not playing. I wouldn't really know. I don't follow the championship anymore as much without my team in it. Yeah, Milivojevic to wake up. we all looked at. Do you remember we all looked at the start of the season at Zaha and Milivojevic because of penalties and VAR, right? But he's not done as much. But all right, I'll give it if he starts to bang in a few penalties now. You've had Jimenez since game week 18, Rashford since 12, and Vardy from the start. Nice. Deadline in 15 minutes. Ding, ding, ding. 12 minutes now. Bringing in David Silva. Daniel Bold. Hey, Dare, how you doing, buddy? Happy New Year. Set your team. You brought in Calvert-Lewin this week, right? I saw... It was between Deeney and Calvert-Lewin you had to bring in for a Dare, right? So... That's a pretty nice option, though. I mean, you must have got 99% of people told you get in Calvert-Lewin over Troy Deeney. Rico or Kelly. Yeah, Ahmed, we talked about that earlier. I think I'm going with Kelly. Rico staying on my bench. Could see Rashford hauling big against Arsenal, but you don't have the balls to not captain Vardy. Completely agree. Sean, you can see I've got Rashford as well. I'm sticking with Jamie Vardy. Your first draft team based on VAR penalties. Yeah, or everything will be overturned. You have to research how many people get done for handball and will have their goals cancelled out for it. Let's just bring in... let's just have a look at this then. The differential parts and the picks for this game week. So Vardy, you can see Kane and Rashford. So I think Kane is a good option against Southampton. Spurs, you can see at the bottom some topic points I mentioned about Spurs. So a lot of people getting rid of Dele Alli and Aurier after his funny on goal. But I just feel as though that Spurs are still a really, really good option. I mentioned it earlier. I know Liverpool at home's not ideal. It's really, of course, it's probably the most difficult fixture to face Liverpool. But Southampton, Watford, and Norwich, and you've got Harry Kane, and he's 14, just under 15% is Dele Alli, and Harry Kane is 20%. It just feels like Southampton concede all the time. I just feel as though that's a pretty decent option. And then Rashford, we talked about him hauling. Of course, I think Rashford, that's why I brought him in from Tammy Abraham, because I feel I want to see United's fast counter-attacking against that horrific Arsenal defence. And then he's got Norwich after that. And then Jamie Vardy's my pick of the week. That's why he's my captain as well. Let me just catch up on the chat, because it's not on the same screen today, which is really, really frustrating. You went with Dominic Calvert-Lewin despite the City fixture. You've got to play him as well. Oh, it's not ideal, but City do concede. Deeney was tempting. He's too expensive as well. He's like over 6 million now. And I mentioned earlier, you can see it's as well scrolling at the bottom. Like for me, Watford at the back, so cheap, good value. Ramsdale, Aurier, brave Aurier. He's going to get you 10 points or -2 today. Evans, TAA, Vice, Ali, Marshall, KDB, Mane, Tielemans, Vardy, Ings. Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. A lot of good players in there. Tielemans, I had him early in the season. I don't think he gets enough. He's not forward enough for his price. I mean, if you went down to Traore, you could upgrade elsewhere. Because he's in that horrible mid-zone, isn't he, Tielemans? Like mid-6 million. But it's all opinion if you believe in Tielemans. And there you go. Good fixtures coming up as well. You'll go deep on the bench. Then Donker will probably get you 2 points. Yeah. That's a shame, though. He's out of position and playing defence. Deeney would be great differential for somebody catching rank. Yeah, I think I did look at him earlier. I think he's... You can see he is in my differentials of the week. I think he's 0.2... I want to say 0.2% owned. It's incredibly low. 0.9%. 0.9% owned for Deeney. I'm not sold on it, but as a differential for the week, Wolves and Bournemouth in the next two. That's why he's on my differentials. Morpay is my top differential. Chelsea seem to always concede. He's probably going to play, and I'd back him for a goal today. And Perez, I think Perez is going to go back and haunt his old club. We talked about the likes of Tielemans and Maddison and Vardy, but Perez could come back into this side. You can see he got 2 assists in that West Ham game away from home. 63 minutes, so he was brought off early, so I think he could go back and do something against his old side. So they are my picks of the week. High value, yeah. Evans is one of the best. He's okay in terms of around the 5 million mark, yeah. But like I said, my plan this year is to go really high, either with TAA and Robertson, or really low. Guaita, Rico, TAA, Kelly. Oh, that's a nice cheap backline, Sean. I love it. That's where I go. That's what I'm going for. Katie with Sterling, Mane, Traore, Vardy, Rashford, Ings. So you're not tempted to try and go Sterling to Salah? Like, why did you go for Sterling? You just, like, is that all your money in the bank? Because if I could, I'd probably go Sterling, Salah. Cheap at the back, yeah. You're afraid of Ings. You want 4 forwards. Yeah, I don't want to say, like, it's missed the boat time on Danny Ings. But I think it's it's the classic situation that if you've got him, you hold him. If you don't have him, you don't bring him in. And I just feel because of fixtures. Of course, he can score against anyone, but they have some pretty difficult fixtures coming up in the next few game weeks. Agree about Tielemans. You'd rather have Grealish, even though Villa are bad. Yeah, I've got Grealish, and he's sitting on my bench, and he's leaving next game week. He had a nice 6-pointer for me. Thank you very much. Goodbye. By the way, guys, 5 minutes. If you're going to make any moves, any shakes, any changes, now's the time to do it. Don't do it like a minute before, because everything crashes on the app. I think I'm going to stick with Vardy and De Bruyne. Oh, do we just punt? Do we punt and put Vice on TAA? No. Let's stick with good old Kev as my Vice. Sean doesn't rate Grealish. Yeah, I'm the same, man. I brought him in because he was in good form, and I just rage transferred out Son. I'll be more patient now. Maybe a patient player. Who do you think is getting sacked, though? You go for Sterling at the moment and switch to Salah game with 24. Makes sense. Rashford is captain, big hauls. Your gut says that Vardy could blank. Ruben, that is bold. That is bold, and I don't like it because he's currently my captain. But if Rashford hauls, that'd be lovely. Hoping Benjamin Mendy wrist will play off at some point. Yeah, is he 5-something now? Mendy? Yeah, 5'5". He dropped massively. Started at 6. But again, he's going to get injured, or he's going to get sent off, or he's going to get rotated out. Because that's what happens with Pep and Mendy. .9%. Oh, yeah, Mendy is a great option. I just don't trust him. Pep will respect Ancelotti and go strong. Oh, I hope so. Come on, Kevin. Do something again. You panicked with 5 minutes left and took KDB out for Lingard. Jesus Christ. No way. You didn't. Of course you didn't. No. What is Jesse Lingard's ownership? Because I'm thinking, if you've got him in, you must be an absolute joker. 0.8%. So it's still fair amount of owners going on here. So selected by 57,000 managers. Absolute madness. That's not Maverick. That is insane. That is 100% insane. Alright, so the deadline is in 3 minutes, guys, so I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm not going to make any changes. This is going to be my team going into to this game week. The players will get a nice 10-day rest after this. So we'll get a nice 10-day rest, which will be very nice. So obviously I won't be streaming on Friday, but should be back for the next game week. Thoughts on the new signing? I mentioned him earlier, Minamino. It depends on his price. Depends on his price completely. Aurier, Emerson, and Mendy were all at starts at offensive asset, all three disappointed. I think Aurier will still do all right in the next 5. Emerson was so disappointed when he got injured. Really let down. 57,000 goals teams. Yes. He plays for United because he came through the academy. If it had been anyone else, I don't think he would play. You think Brighton could beat Spurs today? I don't know how they're going to beat Spurs, mate. Because Brighton are against Chelsea. But I get your point, Gary. I think you're thinking of Chelsea or you're thinking of Southampton beating Spurs. Either way. You'll have 3K subs by end of season. I think I'm on 7. Don't say that. Are you trying to tell me I'm going to lose like 4,000 subs? Or I'm going to get 3,000. I won't. I do this stream on Fridays anyway. And a video every Tuesday or Wednesday, pretty much whenever the game week ends. So look out for the video maybe next Tuesday or Wednesday. And then the stream next Friday just before. I think my dates are right there. Yeah, so next week video, next week stream on the Friday. So thanks for the like, guys. And yeah, subscribe if you're new and like it if you like it and stuff like that. But thanks for coming in. Good luck this game week. Deadline is 2 minutes. Don't do anything drastic. Don't change anything last minute. I always say don't change anything just before because you'll do a rash decision. Okay, so take it easy, guys. As always, have a good one.